Delores was a dreamwalker. She could slip into the unconscious minds of others as easily as a breeze into an open window. It was a gift, perhaps a curse, she wasn't sure. At first she thought it was a terrible burden, but as the years passed, she found a strange power in it. She could see the depths of people, their darkest fears, their wildest desires that even they weren't aware of, and she could see them in a way that no one else could. Tonight, Delores had entered the dream of a young boy she had served at the supermarket earlier in the day. He'd come in to buy an orange soda. The dream was a dark, fog-shrouded wasteland, not what she had expected for one so young. Screams came from all directions, but no direction at all at the same time. Shadows moved in unnatural ways, and the air carried a stench of rotting meat, and in the distance she heard a faint sobbing. She moved towards the sound, her heart pounding in her chest. There, huddled against a cracked, moss-covered gravestone, was the boy. His face was buried in his arms. As she approached, she read the inscription on the stone. Here lies Delores Dandy, Dreamwalker. A chill ran down her spine. What? She whispered, her voice barely a breath. The boy looked up at her, his eyes filled with a strange, knowing light. Hello, Delores, he said. Delores gasped. No one had ever seen her in their dreams before. No one had ever spoken to her. You can see me? She asked, her voice trembling. Of course I can see you, the boy replied, his sobs subsiding. I can see the dead. But I'm not dead, Delores protested. This is just a dream. Are you sure about that, Delores? The boy asked, his demeanor shifting. The tears on his face now vanished, replaced by a chilling smirk. His eyes, just moments ago filled with sorrow, now seemed to pierce through her like a dagger. How do you know my name? Delores stammered. I can read, the boy replied, gesturing towards a gravestone. This is your dream. You shouldn't be able to see me or talk to me, Delores shouted, panic rising. She scratched her neck, feeling an itching sensation of hives coming on. This isn't a dream, Delores, the boy said, his voice a cold whisper. You've been trespassing in others' minds for too long, spying on their fears, their desires. That's not allowed. How does it feel to have someone else invade your mind? The boy, his form shifting and twisting in an unnatural way, glitching, stepped closer. Delores stumbled backwards, falling to the ground. A sharp pain shot through her as she felt her coccyx hit the ground, and her hands scraped the gravel, a sting indicating torn skin. The boy towered over her now, his face and body distorted, cartoon-like character. His eyes dark and hollow, his mouth big enough to swallow her. How does it feel, Delores? He asked, his voice a low rumble. To be invaded, to have your privacy violated. Delores tried to blink the nightmare away, as she normally did to exit someone's dream, but it didn't work. The boy's face loomed closer, his eyes boring into hers. Where are you going, Delores? He asked. Please, Delores pleaded, tears streaming down her face. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Didn't know? The boy scoffed. You didn't know it was wrong to invade others' minds? How foolish can you be? You didn't think, did you, Delores? Maybe you should think more. Use that noggin of yours once in a while, Delores. He mocked as he tapped his temple with a long finger. I will, I promise, Delores cried, scrambling to get away. But the boy was faster. He was everywhere at once, his face and body distorting into grotesque shapes. That's right, he said, his voice a chilling hiss. "You won't do it again. And you know why? Because I'll be watching you. Every step you take, every dream you have, if you dare to intrude again, I'll be back. And I won't leave until I am finished." Delores looked at the gravestone again, a cold dread settling in her bones. "Never again," she sobbed. "Because I'll be watching you," the boy repeated, his voice echoing in her mind. "And you won't like what I do. Now give me my change, Delores," he demanded. "Your what?" she asked in a flash. As she blinked, she was back at her checkout station in the supermarket. The boy was standing there with an orange soda in one hand and the other stretched out, palm up. "May I have my change, please?" he asked politely in a sweet voice. She looked down and saw that she was holding a few coins, so she placed them in his hands. "Thank you, Delores," he said, the side of his mouth lifting into a smirk as he turned and walked away.